Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's already Lent. Can you believe it? I know we're all going through the same thing. We can't believe that Lent is already here. It seems like Christmas just happened, and now you're at that point where you're trying to figure out what you should give up for Lent. So if you want to figure out some ideas and what you might be able to give up for Lent, and as an added bonus, we're going to talk about, is Ash Wednesday a mandatory day to go to church? Stick around. Hi, I'm Chad Torgerson with Directional Faith, and if you're here, you're probably asking yourself, what should I give up for Lent? And it's something that we go through every year. We're trying to figure out what is something good that we can give up for Lent. And some of the most common things are, we give up chocolate or junk food, fast food, red meat. When I think of all those things, though, the first thing I think of is maybe we should all just go on a diet, right? Because, why are all of our things all surrounded by different types of food that we need to give up? Maybe it says something about our culture and society that we're a little too focused on worried about what we eat and diet plans and health and all that. And, my own ideas this year for giving up some things actually revolve around food, so I'm guilty myself. But is there something else? What are some other ideas of things that we can give up? Whatever ideas you come up with, really it's not so much about what you do specifically, because what we give up for Lent, it can be the same thing every year. We can try to find something different every year. But really, it should be something that matters to you. Don't just do what everyone else is doing. Find something that is going to help you. Because what we really need to think about is, it's not really about what we're giving up, but why we're giving it up. And really, what is that purpose? And it's because that Lent is a season of penance. It's a time that we're supposed to atone for our sins and try to grow closer to God. Now, we usually think of it as like a punishment. We see it as a time that we're punishing ourselves for the sins that we've done in an effort to try to get ready for Easter. And then in a way that we think that, the things that we're doing to ourselves during this time of Lent, it's like we're carrying our cross, right? That if somehow, us struggling with giving up chocolate is somehow going to, be similar to Christ carrying the cross. It's not. I mean, it's a good concept, and it's great that we're trying to be more Christ-like. But let's face it, giving up chocolate or even giving up social media for a month is nothing like the great gift that Jesus gave us when he carried that cross. So if Lent isn't meant as a punishment, then what is it? Really, it's a time for us to grow closer to God. We're supposed to develop our faith and find ways to reset our spiritual lives. In the same way that, when it comes to the end of the year, we like to set new resolutions, whether it's good habits or diets or things like that we use to, kind of get our lives back in order again. Well, in this case, we're just really focused on our spiritual lives. So as we go through Lent, see it as a time to set, kind of a Christian New Year's resolution, that you're going to take this time to set new habits, to come up with new ideas of ways that you can grow closer to God yourself. It's all about your personal relationship with Christ, and this is one great way to do it. Now that we kind of understand why we're doing this, what is the purpose of Lent and why are we making these sacrifices? If you were to ask me what the best thing that you can offer God, it's time. Give him your time. All these other sacrifices that we've talked about, some of them like giving up social media, or people talk about adding things to their life during Lent, and that's prayer or time in doing good works for others. That all comes down to time. It comes down to the ultimate sacrifice, which is, taking some of our day and giving it to God. We're so focused on the world around us. We spend so much time, binging Netflix and watching TV, watching sports, running around with our kids to all the different things that they've got going on. There's so many things that distract us in this world that we can't find 10 or 15 minutes a day for God. So if you want a good Lenten practice, in my mind, start with giving God some of your time. Now that we've decided to give God more of our time, what are some great ways to do it? I think we all, first and foremost, think of prayer. If you're going to give God 10 or 15 minutes a day, the best way to do it is in prayer. Whether, it's through a simple prayer where you're just having a conversation with God, or maybe you're going to do the examine, which, I've taught about in other videos. Or you could do something like the rosary or other, common prayers that we use to build up our spiritual lives. Beyond prayer, there's some other ways that you can give God some time too. One of the things that I really enjoy doing is journaling, right? And it's actually kind of an extension of prayer a lot of times, but spend 10 or 15 minutes to write down your thoughts and ideas. Or maybe you spend 10 or 15 minutes to read, books on the faith, and, whether it's Catholic, Christian, whatever books you find, something that will help you enrich your faith a little bit. Another idea is to do good deeds for others. Every day, do one good thing for somebody else. Go out of your way. So not just something simple, but take some time to do a good deed for somebody else, whether it's your spouse, your kids, a coworker, or just somebody you see on the street. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of give some of your time to the people around you. I think the most important thing to remember about all this is that these aren't things that you should just do during Lent as a penance and a way to punish yourself. They should become new good habits. So when you're thinking of ideas, what are some new habits that you want to bring into your spiritual life? Ways that you can grow closer to God, deepen your faith, and live a more Christian life. So focus on ideas that are things that, start with Lent, but you're going to continue to do, many years after. Make it a habit. Make it something that's revolutionary. It's going to change your life. This is your opportunity to really do something with your life and make a change, so do it. And that's what I'm here trying to do in Directional Faith. I'm trying to help you change your life in small ways, not in big, huge ways. Let's just incrementally, in small changes, let's learn how to develop our faith and grow closer to God in the everyday bits of life. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, to find small ways to start incorporating faith into your daily life through prayer and, refocusing your life on God. So if you like those kind of videos and you want to find out more about it, make sure you subscribe so that, we can continue on this journey together. So one last tip when it comes to Lent is the fact that Sundays are actually a cheat day, right? So if you've ever been on a diet, sometimes they'll talk about having a cheat day. And if you decide to take a cheat day on Sundays, it's not really cheating, because Sundays are always a day of celebration, even during Lent, even during a time like that where we're supposed to be focused on penance. On Sundays, we're supposed to celebrate our God and the love that we have for Him. So if you do need to take a cheat day, save it for Sundays, right? So if you've told yourself that you're not going to eat chocolate, eat the chocolate that you want to on Sunday. Now, of course, don't gorge yourself. Don't go crazy. It's not something like that. It's not about gluttony. But if you want to take, and reward yourself for a good week and have a piece of chocolate on Sunday, by all means, go ahead. All right, finally, I promised that we would talk about whether or not Ash Wednesday is mandatory. So if you're not from one of the more traditional churches, like the Catholic Church, like I am, you may be, wondering why a day like this would be mandatory. Well, in the Catholic Church, we have certain days that are called holy days of obligation, right? And of course, you think of Easter and Christmas, but there's some other days throughout the year that are holy days that we're supposed to go to church. Not everyone does, but it's a good idea. So the question is Ash Wednesday mandatory? Is it a day that we have to go to church? Because it's actually one of the most popular days for people to go to church. It's next to Christmas and Easter, I think, it's pretty popular. You see a lot of people walking around with the ashes on their heads. And the answer is actually no, it's not. It's not a mandatory day. So why do so many people go? Well, maybe it's because they think it's cool to have the ashes. They like to represent their faith. And, there's people out there that start to question that. The ones that are regular churchgoers, and they say, well, these people don't go to church every week, but they're going to show up on Ash Wednesday and they're going to wear their ashes around. Listen, it's not your job to question anybody's motives. And if that's the only day that they're coming to church, great. Because honestly, to me, the fact that anybody is willing to put those ashes on their head and represent their faith to the world, regardless of how good of a Christian or Catholic they are, the fact that they're willing to step out in faith and show the world how important their faith is to them and how much they believe in Jesus, then I'm all for it. So stop worrying about what other people do and stop questioning others. I say the more people we've got walking around with ashes on their forehead, the better. Right? I think it's a great way for us to share our faith. All right, so in the comments, if you have any other ideas of things that you can give up for faith, what's worked for you, what hasn't, tell me some of your success stories, tell me some of your struggles, put them down in the comments. And of course, if you really like this video and you want to continue seeing more, make sure to subscribe. I'll try to get a little bit better, especially here in Lent, at being a little more consistent with when I'm releasing the videos. But I appreciate you taking the time to stop by, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.